It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Angela Smith Thomas. She's in the building and she'll be talking about crafting a legacy, leaving that behind. Can't wait. How are you doing, Angela? Thanks for joining.
And how are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. We really appreciate it. And thank you all for joining, by the way, and allowing us to stream into your home during these very remarkable times, whether on your iPad or on your mobile device, or maybe we're on your big screen TV right now. And it's an honor and a privilege. Even if you listen to the podcast, thank you so much. You know, they're looking at the title, and we'll get into your bio in a few moments. By the way, Angela, I know people know how famous you are, and some people will be meeting you for the first time. But when you talk about crafting a legacy, take a moment, if you would. Legacy means different things to different people. So when you say crafting a legacy, what does legacy mean to you? And what does that even look like to you?
Well, legacy is understanding that you have purpose, knowing that you did not get dropped out of the sky, know that there's a reason that you're here, and understanding that you have power and that you have the power to walk into anything that you desire to walk in. You have to understand that you are positioned as an overcomer because you are a willing vessel. You did not allow those things to stop you that came to stop you. And now you have the opportunity to educate, empower, and encourage others through your resilience, that thing that helped you through. I tell you, this journey hasn't been easy. Suicide attempts, domestic violence, I tell you, but I'm here because I want to tell my story. I want to leave that story. I don't want people to tell that story for me. And I think it's important that we know that we have a story, even the little things. Somebody may be able to take a nugget and it may be able to help them to go to the next level. So that's why it's important to leave a legacy.
You know, said well, and at the risk of sounding sarcastic, I'm curious for the person that's looking at you right now and saying, um, I don't feel I have a story. I haven't done anything different than someone else. I mean, my life's like everybody else's life. I know it's a broad question, but what would you say to that person who's watching right now and they're listening?
Well, I can say that if you are that person, I was that person because I come from a place where darkness was. I was surrounded around poverty. I was surrounded around a lot of positive. Ended up in a domestic violence, almost losing my life. Yet I wanted to live. So I decided that I wanted better and I had to do something. So I'm here. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that is my story. And that's what I want people to know.
And when they leave that legacy, um, can they leave it in a written format? Do they have to leave it in a video format? Do they have to leave it in the form of a check? I don't know, an insurance policy. Is there a difference between leaving it in a print format versus leaving it in an online format when they talk about leaving their legacy?
There are so many ways to leave a legacy. You can leave a legacy in print. You can leave a legacy through a will. You can leave a legacy through just people understanding what you stood for and people knowing, hey, I knew Miss Angela and Miss Angela stood on this and this is what she did and this is what she stood for. So there's so many ways that you can leave a legacy. I started by writing books. I now have over 100 published literary pieces, whether books, magazines, calendars, planners, journals, you name it. I decided that I wanted to do something to know who Angela was. You know, I am the first author in my family, even though my cousin Chris Paul is now an author too. I am the first author in my family. We now have three authors, but it's something that, I can leave for those that are coming behind me, letting them know that yes, you can do it. And not only that, um, I am the first girl in my family to receive a master's degree. I'll be walking next month with a master's degree. So just being able to have something that the next generation can say, if my cousin can do it, my auntie can do it, somebody that I know can do it, then I can do it.
Ah, I love it. As you were talking, people are like, Shay, I love what I'm hearing. She has a heart to give and a heart to serve, but I don't know her. I mean, I didn't get a chance to read her bio. I didn't get a chance to Google her beforehand. I heard some things she did. Can you slow down and then speed up? So take a moment, if you would, and tell us, who are you? What's your backstory that led you to doing what you're doing now?
So I'm just a little country girl from I basketball. I attended Morris Brown College. I did not graduate, but I walked last year after 30 years well, with my master's. I am the youngest of four siblings. Um, this journey has not been easy, but I'm grateful for this journey. I am an author. I am a podcaster. I wear a lot of hats, but the most important thing I want people to understand is if I see you have purpose, you have a gift, I'm going to push you into that. I don't care who you are. Um, I just believe in people, and that's who I am. Just a little country girl, just wanting people to know that they have purpose. They did not get dropped out of the sky.
I love it. What would you say to the person that's thinking, I would like to know if I want to write my book and I want to write it and leave my story in writing, what's one, two, or three things or three steps that someone should do so they can start that process, so they can get their story out there and get their message out there?
If you just have time to just journal, just write it down, just start journal, put it in a notebook, and when you're finished writing the story, if you don't know what to do, there's somebody out there. You can Google it. There's so many ways that you can get your story out. There's agents. There's um, these boutique publishers. There's just so many ways. There's no excuse now for individuals to say that they want to be an author, because if you want to be an author, you can be an author. I just helped a young lady publish her book. Um, it just went live yesterday. So if
Congratulations.
there's
That's
a will, there's
awesome.
a way.
Yeah, that's awesome. How does it feel when you're able to help someone that didn't think they can get their story written, but now are able to tell their story, get their message? Like you said, it's published, it's done, it's out there. How does that feel to you?
I feel like I have come closer to doing the things that I was put here to do. I know that I just didn't get dropped out, that I'm supposed to be impacting lives. And if I can impact a few lives, I feel like I've done what I'm supposed to do. And her being able to publish that book and her being able to put that book out there and touch so many lives, it just made my day. It made what I do so much better, you know.
One of the things that touched me about your story, and you kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, it's about going through some challenging times at home in terms of abuse as well. Um, if there's a little girl, a little boy, or a big girl, a big boy that's watching right now, and they're leaning forward and they heard that and they're like, I'm in a situation right now, Shay, and I am being abused mentally or physically or otherwise. If Angela had opportunity to talk to me, what are three things that she would suggest that I do, or three steps that I do to kind of reclaim my life? I know it's not a counseling session, and I know it's not a therapy session, but I know that you help women and you help folks that are going through challenging times. What would you say to that person that's watching right now?
And I can only share, things that work for me. So I can only share my experience. So with me, I had to realize that I had value. I had to understand that I didn't get dropped out of the sky. In spite of what other people thought of me or felt about me or their perception of me, I had to love me. And you got to love you. Understand that you are valuable. Understand that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that you are not a mistake. So regardless of what anybody say, you are special in his eyes. You are an apple in his eye. So understand that and believe that. And if you can believe that, you can come out of whatever it is that you're going through. And another thing I always tell women or men, because men do go through domestic violence. Have seen people experience it. So listen, if someone show you who they are, take and learn how to walk away. Don't get deeper involved to where you can't walk away. Understand that they're not going to change and that you cannot change them. You regardless of how you think you can change yourself, you cannot change anyone. They have to want to change. So if you see the signs, take them for what they are and walk away. Value yourself again.
Well said. Leads us to a segment we have here that's a very important segment called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks who are tuning in, and I know you tune in every night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know what I'm about to do. For all the new folks, welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It's an honor and a privilege to be streaming into your home right now. But for those folks who know what I'm about to do, you can go ahead and say those magical words right now. Today is by January 1st. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel good? And for all of our new folks, today is our January 1st is our personal mantra here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy and past that is, or how bright and sunny that past is, the past no longer equals the future. And so my question for the one and only Angela on the other side is twofold. One, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. What do you hear? What do you hear? What do you hear? And number two, what was a time that you had a setback? What was a challenge you had to go through? And how did you bounce back from it?
Wow. So I got a new day. I got a new start. I got a chance to do something that I did not get to do on yesterday. So it's always a great day when I can start fresh, knowing that I don't have to take nothing from yesterday. And I remember a time when I was a store manager and we had to go through my whole staff. I was away in Alabama helping training and got a phone call saying that I was having a loss prevention issue and did not have a loss prevention issue before I left. Within 6 weeks, I went from missing probably 200 pieces to missing over 2,000 pieces. So we had a serious problem. I had to come back to my store and ended up letting go most of my staff, um, people that I had worked with for a while, people that I had trusted. So understanding that we put our trust in people and we let our guards down and we let people get close to us and get in a position, they call it contentment, and they don't want to go to the next level. And I had got in that place and I got comfortable with my staff, and I know there were things that I should not have been letting slide. And that almost cost me my job. It cost their job. And I had to start all over again. So that means I had to work open to close, 9 to 9 for almost 6 months. It was not a great experience. And going through that, it taught me a lot. It taught me that I had to develop skills with people that were not friendships, but skills that working skills, having working relationships and having these relationships without having to build friendships. And we have to learn how to separate those things because people were walking out at nighttime with merchandise in their purses because they were not checking. Because they said, well, she stopped checking. The only person was checking was you, so we just started stealing when she was here. That's what happened. People get comfortable. You never want people to get with what you're doing and who you are. You always gotta stay on your toes. You always gotta never get content. always be willing to evolve and always willing to learn and grow, because there's always something new on the horizon. We are evolving people. We're in an evolving world. So always be willing to learn. And that's one thing that I have been doing on this journey, is stepping back and being a student and learning from those that even I'm leading. We often want to be leaders, but we don't want to be a student. And I often tell those that follow me that if you are a great leader, even those that go off and start their own, they're always going to remember that person that helped them get to where they are. Because if you're a great leader, then it's just going to trickle down. It's just like that ripple effect. When you throw that pebble out there in that water and you see those ripples out there, it's just going to ripple. They're always going to remember where they started at. So it's all about that framework that you are putting down and that you are leaving, that people can remember.
You, you know, it always seems to be the part that as you were speaking that you have a passion. I can hear it coming out while you're talking. Take a moment inside if you can. And what do you enjoy most about what you're doing now, helping people create a legacy? What gives you the joy? What do you like so much about it?
I just like the fact that, I'm a spiritual person, and I like the fact that the word says that we're going to do greater works. How will people know that we did greater works if there's no evidence of our greater works? So, what better way than to show people how to create those greater works and to leave those greater works behind so that people know? So, every opportunity I get, I want to show somebody how they can create a legacy. People, I know money is so important. I love money because I love fine things. But with me, it's not always about the money. But I just want people to be able to have something that people can look upon and say, I knew that person. That was a good person. They did great things, and they have that legacy. That's my desire. You know, we often say, what are you doing to change this world? Well, I decided that I wanted to be the change that I desire to see in this world. So if it's one person at a time, one book at a time, one podcast at a time, one street at a time, however it is, that's what I want. I want to see change. I want to see the next generation having better than what I had. I want to leave this world better than I found it.
You're doing that every moment of every minute of every day. You're doing that now. You know, one of the questions I get to ask when we have time, we have a few minutes now, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? Now, I frame it for the audience so they kind of understand. I'm not asking you to come off the mountain with the 10 Commandments, okay? You read so many books, you watched a lot of movies, you watched a lot of videos, you probably had a lot of mentors along this way. But if you had to think about one idea that was given to you that you want to pass to the audience, what would it be and why?
Like, I think it's Nike. Just do it. Uh,
Mm.
like we see everybody, like Michael Jordan. He just did it. He got out there on that court and he just played. Don Staley, just different people. They got out there and did what they did. Like, just do it. You have the opportunity to be great. You have the opportunity to leave a legacy. But if you don't do it, how do you know you can do it? So just do it.
You make it seem so easy, and I know you've been so gracious with your time, but I'm wondering, how do you take action even when you're fearful? You said, just do it, just do it, just do it. And there's some people, when they have fear, it freezes them. They stop. They say, oh, wait a minute, I'm a little afraid, can't go right now. Now's not a good time. But not you. Sometimes it seems uncertain. Sometimes you're not sure what the outcome is going to be, but you do it anyway. How do you manage to take action and command yourself to do things even when you're fearful?
Well, when And it depends on your state of mind and where you've been. I've been through so much and I've experienced so much, so why not? You know, when you've come from a place to where you've lost some things, you've had to start over a couple of times, then what do you have to lose? Like, really, what do you have to lose? We only have one life. We only get one chance. So either you're gonna take a chance, you're gonna have the faith, you're gonna believe in yourself. Because I use this one scenario, and I heard someone say this. So when you were younger, your mother put you in a little carry out. She set you on the floor, and then the next step she moved you to a bigger chair. Then she moved you to another chair, and then you were able to sit up on your own. She moved you to a higher chair, and then eventually you were able to walk up to that chair and sit down on your own. Did you question that chair? Did you question if that chair was going to hold you? Or did you believe that that chair was going to hold you because your mama had put you in that chair? You built a pattern of being placed in a chair and it holding you. So when you got ready to do it on your own, you didn't question it. You walked up and you did it. So sometimes we got to stop questioning things and know, if I've been doing this all along, if I've been doing this, then why I can't do this? Like, you have to at some point truly believe in yourself. Like, that's just where it's at.
And you talk about believing yourself. Is there affirmations that you tell yourself, or any affirmation you recommend to folks? I love that. Believe in yourself. Go for it. What affirmations do you hold near and dear to you? Again, I'm putting her on the spot, ladies and gentlemen. She said I can ask whatever question I want. So I'm just curious, like, does she have an affirmation that she tells herself to, or tell others to encourage and inspire them? If so, what is that affirmation? And maybe you have two that you use.
Yeah, I speak a lot of affirmations, and then I speak the word. Like, I believe in scripture. I believe in it. Like, we have that power. We have the power, that greatest one. We have the power to speak life or death. So whatever you speak, if you speak it positive, I am. I am whatever. You can say that all day long. Like, I've had to do that. Like, literally, I've had to go and stand in the mirror and say, okay, and be bothered with sciatica. You finna have a good day today. So go in there and talk to yourself. Do whatever you got to do. Like, literally, I tell people, we talk about planning self care. Self care should be a part of your plan every day. It shouldn't be something that you have to plan. Just like you get up and eat your breakfast, and you got to go. We know we got 24 hours in a day. Most of us know we're gonna go work 8 hours because most of us go work a 9 to 5. And then we already say we're gonna get 8 hours of sleep. So that's 16 hours. What are you doing with that other 8 hours? Do you have a outline, a plan for that 8 hours? You got a plan for the eight you're gonna be asleep, and then you got a plan for the eight that you're gonna be on that job. So what do you have planned for that other eight? Like, we have to be intentional, and we have to make time for ourselves. Like, I know every day, I know I like to take bubble baths. So at some morning or in the afternoon, I'm gonna get me some Dr. Teal, and I'm gonna run me a hot bath, and I'm gonna go in there whether I got candles or I'm just in there listening to a podcast, or listening to something. You just gotta take that time for yourself, because you matter no matter what you do.
I like that. You matter no matter what you do. Man, that says so well. As we come down the home stretch, almost down there, I'm kind of curious, what do you do for fun when I help people create a legacy and helping them write their book and helping to encourage them? Like, what do you do for recreation? What do you do just to have a good time?
So I love my family. Um, we like to bowl. We like to just have a good time. We will play board games. We just get together, and we so spread out. So we travel. We go back and forth, to different areas, and just having a good time. Um, I have a nephew that just got promoted, to chief of the fire department in Belton, area in South Carolina. So we just like to to have fun. Spend time with my family is the most important thing. It's why I do what I do, so that I do have the time to spend with my family.
Family time, no time like family time. As we come down the home stretch, a two-part question. Number one, how can folks best connect with you? For folks that are watching, they're like, man, I like what I hear. How can they best connect with you? And number two, what type of clients are you looking to work with these days, if any?
So you can connect with me via Linktree, Queen of Collaborations. I'm on most all platforms. I I love working with people that want to tell their story, people that want to leave a legacy, people that want people to know who they are, and those people that may know their story, they may know their purpose, and they may not. If you don't know your purpose, that's fine. Allow me to help you find your purpose, to discover your purpose, to allow that purpose to come up, because we already have it in us. Everything is already in us. There's nothing new falling out the sky. So everything that you need is already in you. That breath of life, it deposited everything in you. So now it's just discovering it and bringing it forth. So if you need some help, I'm also a life coach. So if you need some help, I'm here to help you. I only not only help you write books and do podcasting and do all those things. I just want people to know that they have purpose and that they are legacy. Because in this day and time, they are trying to erase our history. And it's now the time to create history and leave your legacy.
And we're going to go to connect with you.
You can go to Linktree, Queen of Collaborations. It houses all of the various platforms that I'm on, where you can get my books, where you can check out the podcast, the magazine, all those different things. If you want to schedule a consultation with me, you can go over there, and everything is right there in one place. And that is Linktree / Queen of Collaborations.
I love it, by the way. Let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. Can't wait to have you back again soon.
Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you to viewers, because without you, we don't have a show. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for allowing us to stream into your home and be a part of this show. And I never get tired of reminding you, every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're doing very well and you're just going to that next level. Wow, what a journey. Or if life has hit you with the punch you never saw coming. The one thing we know for sure, at least I believe with every fiber in my heart, is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason, I believe your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, it hasn't changed. It's still Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Thanks a lot, Angela. Peace, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. We out.